This month, one of the biggest P2P platforms in Europe is showing you one number on its public statistics page and a very different number inside your own investor dashboard. We are talking about roughly 67 million gap between what's publicly reported as healthy and what's internally already flagged as in recovery. Welcome back to P2P Empire. This is our monthly loan book performance update. Keep in mind that nothing in this video is considered investment advice. P2P lending is risky and you may lose your money. Everything you're about to see is based on data from mid-July. Quick reminder on how to read this. For every platform we check, you will see the total amount of money outstanding. That's your capital currently invested in loans and how much of that book is in recovery. The lower it is, the healthier the loan book. 0% means nothing on the platform is currently in the default process. A high percentage means a large chunk of the outstanding capital is tied up in loans that have gone bad. In short, the higher the funds in recovery percentage, the higher the likelihood that you will lose money. Keep in mind that most of this data is publicly verifiable, published by the platforms themselves. Not all platforms publish regular data and some intentionally hide numbers or make them appear better than they are. These are the platforms currently showing €0 in recovery this month. PeerBerry leads the pack. Average interest is around 10% with a huge 136 million outstanding loan book and nothing in recovery. As you can see, the platform is growing quite a bit this year, which is good news for investors who have been struggling with cash drag. PeerBerry has also published several audited financial reports for its lending partners, which you can now review on our lender ratings page on P2P Empire. We will show you the equity and debt position of those lenders together with expected loan losses and their current risk trend. InRento, the Lithuanian regulated platform, offers about 11.6% with about 81 million outstanding loan book and 0 loans in default. The platform has been growing its loan book significantly this year, so a default rate of 0% is really impressive. Robocash offers about 9% interest on its business loans for its Singaporean entity. The platform has a 64 million loan book, which has been decreasing for the past 2 years. All the loans on the platform work as expected with no reported funds in recovery. As of the time of recording, the financial report for the Financial Group for 2025 has not been published yet. There's not much new information to report about Esketit. The outstanding portfolio has been between 46 and 49 million for most of the year. The platform does not report any funds in recovery and offers only limited insights into the financial positions of their loan originators. Afranga continues to offer a relatively high average yield of about 14%, with some loans even offering 16% if you lock up for a 36-month loan period. Currently, we have had the chance to review the financial report from Stick Credit, which has not been audited yet. You can find the key performance metrics for Stick Credit on our lender ratings page. While the equity and debt positions remain strong, the impairments grew significantly last year, which indicates a higher risk trend. The MiFID II regulated Latvian platform Nectaro offers about 12.8% average interest rate with 27 million in outstanding loan portfolio and 0 loans in recovery. There are no big news here. I'm aware that some investors have been nervous about delayed loans on Nectaro recently. However, as long as the loans are not delayed for more than 60 days, there is not much to worry about. If the late status starts pushing past the 60 days, that's when you pay closer attention. Fintown's growth has slowed down recently. Currently, the platform is managing about 19 million in outstanding loan portfolio. The platform does not report any funds in recovery or any delays when it comes to loan or interest payments. The currently available investment opportunities are limited and offer a lockup period of 24 months with no cheap way to exit earlier should you want it. Additionally, the platform has not released any updates this year nor the financials for 2025, which reduces the reporting and monitoring ability of investors on the platform. Triple Dragon continues to offer a 14% interest rate with about 14 million in assets under management and 0 reported funds in recovery. The interest continues to be paid on time. Lonvest, the smaller unregulated Croatian platform offering loans from Asia and Mexico, is reporting a 2.2 million loan book with no funds in recovery. For Indemo, we consider loans with a longer holding period than expected advertised 2 years as funds in recovery. Currently, there are about €460,000 delayed out of almost 31 million outstanding loan book. The platform launched dynamic portfolio re-evaluation last month. In plain terms, the platform now continuously re-evaluates your investments depending on which stage of the debt recovery process your project is in. The further along a debt is toward a resolution, the more your investment is worth. That's at least the theory. The goal of this is to give you a more honest, real-time picture of where your money actually stands. However, it does not guarantee that this is the amount that you will get when the debt is repaid. Income Marketplace reports a relatively high average interest rate of 12.5% with a 31 million outstanding loan book and 1.7% in the buyback initiated category. You can get insights into the latest financials from the listed loan originators on our LANDE ratings page or directly in our Income Marketplace review on P2P Empire. There is not much to report about Vianvest and TWINO. Both platforms have not released updated performance data for the past month. LANDE's defaulted loans decreased in July compared to June, while the outstanding portfolio grew by about 4.7%. Here we can see the outstanding portfolio's growth as well as the development of the funds in recovery over the past 3 years. If you've been following P2P Empire for a while, you're probably aware of our interview with the LANDE CEO earlier this year. He has teased the launch of a liquidity product which should allow investors to withdraw funds at any time. This product is officially now on hold. The CEO informed me that they have reviewed the demand for high liquidity products which have been launched recently, like the TWINO Flex or LANDE Market Flexi. They have determined that the demand is not as high, so they have put the development of their own product on hold. This is yet another instance where product improvements are being announced by platforms in order to create some curiosity, but are later scrapped and not delivered. This is quite common in the industry and something you should consider when investing in P2P loans. It's better to invest based on the currently available and working features rather than any future promises. Now let's talk about some of the not so great news. Crowdpear has reported an increase in funds and recovery by 7.48% month over month. Currently, the default rate stands at 10.76%. 3 projects with multiple stages have defaulted lately. 2 projects are related companies. The company Godesta became involved in a dispute which limited opportunities to sell their pledged assets. For this reason, Crowdpear terminated the contracts without delay to begin the loan recovery process as soon as possible. The assets pledged to the platform are supposed to be in good condition and have a great potential. The owner of the Drobes Putas project has reached the deadline for delays and Crowdpear was obliged to terminate the contract so they could start the loan recovery process. It's worth noting that all these projects are C-rated projects. Based on the latest developments, we've adjusted our P2P allocation capital preservation strategy. The suggested allocation to Crowdpear has decreased from 20% to 15%. We have increased the allocation into InRento instead. Additionally, if you have been following this channel regularly, you are aware that I'm only investing in B-rated projects on Crowdpear which have not defaulted yet. Defaulted loans on Crowdpear accrue a 5% additional yearly interest rate, which will be paid out as soon as the projects are recovered. Now the big story of the month, Mintos is reporting an outstanding loan portfolio of about 657 million. The recovery amount is exactly what we need to talk about this month, because there is a significant transparency gap here. Nera capital has been classified inside Mintos' internal system of overdue loans, the one only visible to investors who actually have exposure to those loans, as in recovery, with about 61 million euro. But on Mintos' public loan statistics page, the same exposure is not yet classified as in recovery. That means that for the public, it's still shown as outstanding and available loans. In reality, Mintos has been communicating to exposed investors that they expect the recovery to stretch up to 2028. That's a real gap between what Mintos communicates publicly and what it's telling to affected investors internally. And it's not just Nera. Another funds in recovery event has been announced internally for MFO Fintech Finance, a loan originator from Kazakhstan, which is also presented in the public statistics as a healthy lender. So if we count the defaulted loans from both Fintech Finance and Nera Capital into the funds in recovery, Mintos is actually sitting at around 202 million in recovery, not the smaller number the public page implies. Here we can see the historical development of funds in recovery in Mintos, which is a direct reflection of the platform's risk management. While the platform has been able to historically reduce the funds in recovery, many investors have been waiting for years to get their money back, and some of them had to write off their losses. There is one more thing that bothers me. Mintos removed the updates it had posted in its community section about Nera Capital, taking down the public discussion makes this case less transparent, not more, and it means only directly impacted investors can now retrieve the information buried inside their internal overview page in the investor dashboard. Because our platform risk scores depend partly on the real performance of the assets under management, and those assets have now been declared as funds in recovery, at least internally, we have made a decision for our scoring. We are using the unofficial 202.5 million in recovery figure for Mintos, so that our risk ratings reflect reality rather than the more flattering public number. Here you can see the performance of EstateGuru over the past 3 years. The outstanding amounts have continuously decreased, currently standing at 195 million. The funds in recovery, on the other hand, have been more or less stable, which means the platform was not able to significantly lower their default rate as they promised in multiple announcements. Just last month, they recovered just about 130k, which was the monthly lowest recovery amount reported this year. After the recent Ventus default, many investors are flocking to more regulated platforms. However, be informed that both Mintos and EstateGuru are regulated on a platform level, yet both platforms show a rather unfavorable portfolio performance. If you are broadly diversified on those platforms, it means that you are essentially losing money. If you would like to get more insights into the platform level risk, you can visit our website P2P Empire and review the safety scores for every platform. We take the portfolio performance, track record, and regulatory environment into account. Additionally, we have recently launched our updated lender ratings page, which gives you more insights into the financial health of lenders that you are funding on P2P marketplaces. Keep in mind that a platform alone is not responsible for your investments. They always forward the credit risk to you, regardless of how safe or attractive the platform looks. A couple of newcomers and smaller platforms to put on your radar. We have now added data from Modena, which is an alternative to products like Monefit Smart Saver or Pandora Go and Grow. They managed close to 7 million euro in outstanding investments with average yield of 7.38%. Modena offers two products. Both are structured as vaults: a dynamic vault where you can withdraw your funds anytime, and a fixed vault with a 12-month lockup period that pays a higher rate. The platform funds investments into a single loan originator issuing loans in Estonia. They published updated financials, which you can review in our modern review on P2P Empire. If you decide to expose yourself here, keep in mind that this is a single loan originator, so make sure your allocation is adequate. Revest, a small unregulated Croatian platform which just launched last year, has recently published statistical information which we have now added into our system. Right now the platform is not reporting any delays that are longer than 30 days. That platform offers loans in Kazakhstan from a single lending group, so concentration risk is real. The risk here is elevated, which is exactly why investors are being offered a higher rate of 13.5% per year. For more on the lender's financials and how the platform actually works, read our full Revest review before you commit any funds. The rest of the industry does not publish meaningful statistical data, so you're essentially investing into black boxes, which more often than not turn out to be not as great investments in the end. So to summarize July, many platforms we track are running very healthy loan books. At least that's what they report publicly. A significant increase in funds in recovery is reported this month for Crowdpear and Mintos. If you have just started investing in P2P loans, you should know that out of the 30 tracked platforms in this overview, about 683 million of investors' funds are now in recovery, which increases the potential losses for investors significantly. If you decide yourself that you want to be exposed in P2P loans to benefit from the potential monthly solid cash flow, I suggest you monitor the industry regularly, watch out for red flags, and limit exposures to high-risk questionable platforms, out of which there are plenty of in the market. If you would like to get started, we have a quick due diligence checklist which you can download yourself. This will help you to increase the protection of your investments in P2P loans and largely avoid shady and questionable platforms. In addition to that, we have updated our newsfeed so you can get access to all the historical development of every tracked platform. Together with the platform safety scores and the newly updated lender risk and country risk pages, it gives you a good idea of where the risk lies in the current P2P lending environment. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe to not miss out on future updates. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.